Hello, and welcome to a fascinating exploration of open economy macroeconomics. Today, we embark on a journey to understand the intricate web of economic interactions that span across the globe. In a nutshell, we are going to look at how countries interact with each other economically. This involves trade, investments, and the movement of capital across borders. It sounds complicated, but it's really not. By breaking it down into simple concepts, we can easily grasp the fundamentals of how global economies are interconnected. Think of it like this. We live in a world where goods, services, and money flow freely across borders. This seamless exchange is what drives economic growth and development. We buy iPhones from China, drink coffee from Colombia, and invest in companies in India. These everyday actions are part of a larger economic system that connects us all. This interconnectedness has a profound impact on how our economies function. It influences everything from the prices we pay for goods to the stability of our financial systems. Now, you might be wondering, why should we care about this? Understanding these dynamics is essential for making informed decisions, whether you're a consumer, investor, or policymaker. Well, understanding how open economies work is crucial for making sense of the world around us. It helps us see the bigger picture and understand the forces shaping our daily lives. It helps us understand why exchange rates fluctuate, why some countries grow faster than others, and how global events like the war in Ukraine affect us at home. These insights are invaluable in a rapidly changing world. In this journey, we'll uncover the key mechanisms that drive international trade and finance. We'll delve into the principles that govern these interactions and the policies that can enhance or hinder economic performance. We'll explore the forces that determine the value of currencies and learn how countries can use economic policies to influence their position in the global marketplace. This knowledge is crucial for understanding global competitiveness. So, fasten your seatbelts and get ready to dive into the exciting world of open economy macroeconomics. This adventure will not only broaden your horizons, but also equip you with practical insights. It's a journey that will equip you with the knowledge and insights to navigate the complexities of our increasingly interconnected world. Let's begin. Together, we'll explore the fascinating dynamics that shape our global economy and discover how we can thrive within it. Let's kick things off with a fundamental concept: net exports. This is a key indicator of a country's economic health and its position in the global market. In simple terms, it's the difference between a country's exports and imports. Essentially, it measures the value of goods and services a country sells abroad versus what it buys from other nations. Think of it as a country's trade balance. A positive trade balance, or surplus, means the country is exporting more than it is importing, while a negative trade balance, or deficit, means the opposite. Exports are goods and services produced domestically and sold to other countries. These can range from agricultural products to high-tech machinery. Picture Scottish salmon flown to Japan or German cars shipped to the United States. These are examples of how countries earn revenue from their exports. Imports, on the other hand, are goods and services that a country buys from the rest of the world. These can include anything from consumer electronics to luxury goods. Think of French wine enjoyed in Argentina or Japanese electronics used in Canada. These imports fulfill domestic demand for foreign products. When a country exports more than it imports, it has a trade surplus. This surplus can be a sign of a strong economy, as it indicates that the country is competitive in the global market. This means it's earning more from selling its goods and services to the world than it's spending on foreign goods. A trade surplus can lead to increased national income and job creation. Conversely, if a country imports more than it exports, it has a trade deficit. This can be a cause for concern, as it may indicate that the country is becoming too reliant on foreign goods and services. In this case, it's spending more on foreign goods and services than it's earning from its exports. A persistent trade deficit can lead to increased borrowing and debt. Understanding a country's net exports is crucial because it provides valuable insights into its economic performance. It helps policymakers and economists gauge the country's economic health and make informed decisions. A large trade surplus, for instance, can indicate a competitive economy, while a persistent trade deficit might signal underlying economic imbalances. These imbalances can affect everything from employment rates to currency stability. Keep in mind that net exports are influenced by a multitude of factors, including exchange rates, global demand, and a country's economic policies. Exchange rates can make a country's goods more or less expensive on the global market, while global demand can fluctuate based on economic conditions worldwide. Additionally, government policies such as tariffs and trade agreements can have a significant impact on net exports. Now, let's shift our attention to another crucial concept in open economy macroeconomics: net capital outflow. This concept is fundamental in understanding how money moves across borders and how countries interact financially on a global scale. In essence, it represents the difference between the purchases of foreign assets by domestic residents and the purchases of domestic assets by foreigners. This difference can tell us a lot about a country's economic health and its position in the global market. Think of it this way: when a British investor buys stock in a German company, that's a British capital outflow. This action signifies that British investors are looking for opportunities outside their home country, possibly due to better returns or diversification strategies. It's British money flowing out to buy a foreign asset. This outflow can impact the British economy by reducing the amount of capital available for domestic investments. Conversely, when a Chinese company invests in building a factory in the United States, that's a U.S. capital inflow. This inflow can be beneficial as it brings in foreign capital, which can be used to create jobs and stimulate economic growth. It's foreign money flowing into the U.S. This inflow can also strengthen the domestic currency and improve the balance of payments. Net capital outflow can be positive or negative. The direction and magnitude of these flows can provide insights into investor confidence and economic stability. A positive net capital outflow means that domestic residents are buying more foreign assets than foreigners are buying domestic assets. This situation might indicate that domestic investors are seeking better opportunities abroad. This is often referred to as capital flight. Capital flight can be a sign of economic instability or lack of confidence in the domestic market. On the other hand, a negative net capital outflow indicates that foreigners are purchasing more domestic assets than domestic residents are purchasing foreign assets. This can be a sign of strong foreign interest in the domestic economy. Understanding net capital outflow is paramount because it reflects the investment patterns and capital flows between countries. These patterns can influence economic policies and decisions made by governments and financial institutions. These flows can have significant implications for exchange rates, interest rates, and overall economic activity. For instance, a high net capital outflow can lead to a depreciation of the domestic currency, while a high net capital inflow can lead to an appreciation. Both scenarios have their own set of economic consequences that need to be managed carefully. It's important to understand that international transactions involve a two-way street, the exchange of goods and services for assets. When a country runs a trade surplus, exporting more than it imports, it essentially finances the rest of the world's purchases of its goods and services. Think of it like this: if China sells more goods to the United States than it buys in return, it accumulates US dollars. These dollars represent claims on US assets. China can then use these dollars to purchase US assets, effectively financing the US trade deficit. This interplay between trade flows and capital flows is a fundamental principle in open economy macroeconomics. It highlights the interconnectedness of global economies and the importance of understanding how trade balances and capital flows influence each other.